Hi, I'm Pat here, opening up for week 13 of Every Man's Fantasy. To answer my last week's trivia question, the answer is Terry Bradshaw. And this week's question is, who is the all-time sack leader in the NFL? And on to Liam and Tyler.
Thanks, Pat. Welcome back to week 13 for Every Man's Fantasy.
Alright, let's start with the quarterbacks here. Our number one quarterback this week, Matt Stafford. He's going to have a big game against Indy. Look for him to have 20 points, probably even more. Indy's defense hasn't been very good.
A really big bust quarterback this year is Phillip Rivers. I dropped him off my team. I suggest doing the same. He's only projected 10 points this week. Again, Cincinnati's pretty good D, so Phillip Rivers, don't start him this week.
Our big surprise of the year happened late, Colin Kaepernick. He's been an outstanding quarterback. Coming in for Alex Smith, took away the starting job for now, and he's playing like a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
He could go next year if he starts again. Look for him to have 17 against St. Louis. They're in St. Louis, and St. Louis's D hasn't been very good. So,
all right, on to the running backs. C.J. Spiller. He was phenomenal in the beginning of the year, dropped off a little bit, but now he's back. Jacksonville's defense isn't very good, so look for him to shred it with 18 points.
Steven Jackson, another huge bust this year. A lot of people drafted him early in the draft, and a lot of people dropped him early in the season. But if you still do have him, going against San Francisco, who has one of the best defenses in the league, don't expect him to have more than 7 points.
Nice surprise last week was Bryce Brown. He tore up Carolina's defense, and look for him to do the same against Dallas with 15 points. Stepping in for LaShawn McCoy.
To the receivers, Andre Johnson. He had that huge game 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Absolutely outstanding. Look for him to have 17 against Tennessee. Tennessee's been pretty weak on the defensive side of the ball. And Andre Johnson, Matt Schaub, always connect.
Kenny Britt. He hasn't really done much this year. If you have him, don't start him though. Houston's defense has been really good, and the Titans just can't get going on offense. So only 4 points for Britt. Don't start him this week.
Jacksonville's number one receiver now, because Justin Blackmon hasn't been producing. Cecil Shorts. Nobody knew his name until a couple weeks ago. And he's going against Buffalo. Don't have the best defense. And they're going to connect a lot. He's going to get a ton of passes. Expect him to have 15 plus points.
All right, to the tight ends. Not a huge week for tight ends. The number one tight end this week is Owen Daniels, going against Tennessee. 13 points projected for him, so look for Matt Schaub to air it out a little bit to Andre Johnson, who's obviously going to take some catches away from him, but still a solid target in the red zone, so keep him in your lineup.
Vernon Davis had a terrible week last week. He didn't get any points last week, and now he's going against St. Louis. They haven't been too bad covering tight ends, and as everybody knows, he's one of the best in the league. Look for him to probably even get more than he's projected. He's only projected 3.
Benjamin Watson. Oakland's defense isn't good. They just suspended Rolando McClain for 2 games, and Cleveland, Brandon Weeden stepped it up since his first game, so look for Watson to get some targets and put up 8 points this week. Solid tight end fantasy.
The defenses, obviously, are number one again for what, 3rd week in a row?
I don't know.
Bears defense, best defense in the league. Look for them to get 13 against Seattle.
The Giants C. RG3 has really been lighting up the scoreboard the last couple weeks, and the Giants defense, don't look them to be an exception to it. Look for them to get shredded by the pass and the dual threat of the run. Alfred Morris. So only 3 points for the Giants defense this week.
The Cardinals D. I know. Liam was all over the Cardinals at the beginning of the year, and they dropped off. And I think this week they're going to come back against the very weak New York Jets. And look for them to have 9, maybe even more, if they can get a couple of interceptions in there.
All right, so who's a good kicker for this week?
Ryan Lindell, going against Jacksonville. Buffalo's kicker, expect him to have 12, 15 points. He will probably kick quite a few extra points and more likely so some field goals because Buffalo's not the best at getting to the end zone.
Some injuries for this week. Darren McFadden, who's been out, he's been out for a while. So look for him to be questionable this week. He might actually get some carries with an ankle injury, but still, you might want to be wary putting him in your lineup as he might not be at 100% having not played in a while.
Another running back that's injured, Matt Forte. He's questionable with an ankle injury as well. And last week, Michael Bush really stepped it up. Scored 3 times, I believe. And if Forte doesn't come back, they still have a good running back there. But he is questionable, so watch out. Look right before the games if he's playing.
Some players you should look to drop. Ronnie Hillman. I know that 2 weeks ago, when Willis McGahee went down with a knee injury, Ronnie Hillman was projected to go off, be the start and everything. No Sean Marino stepped in and took everything away from Hillman. He's been the most dropped player in fantasy for the last week, so do not keep him on your roster. Drop him, trade him. No Sean Marino is going to get all the attention.
Another player, as we were talking about the San Francisco quarterback dilemma, Alex Smith. Drop him, trade him, do what you can with him. He's not going to get any more playing time this year with Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick's been playing amazing, and Smith just hasn't performed. If you see the team around him, he has great players around him. He had no choice but to do amazing, and he didn't. So if you can, trade him. If not, just drop him.
All right, on to our schedule for this week. The Jaguars and the Bills are playing. It's not really a good game, but I'm picking the Jaguars.
I got the Bills on this one.
Chad Henne's really been leading the offense lately, and I know MJD's not there, but look from there. That's Cecil Shorts and Justin Blackman. So.
All right. Panthers-Chiefs game.
I have the Panthers. The Chiefs.
I have to agree with that. Chiefs have 1 win all year. I don't expect them to get another one anytime soon.
Bears, Seahawks.
I got the Bears.
I agree with you.
I think they're one of the best teams in the league right now.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Lions, Colts.
I have the Colts winning this. The Lions can't find themselves right now. They're desperate on defensive side of the ball, and they can't really establish a run game. I know Mikel LeSure was really good in the beginning of the year, but he kind of fell off.
I actually have the Lions. Surprising pick. I'm a Colts fan, and I actually have the Lions winning this one because Colts defense has not been very good against the pass, and the Lions have the best passing duo in the league with Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson Jr. So I expect them to air it out over the Colts defense.
Vikings, Packers.
Packers.
I agree with you. Texans, Titans.
No-brainer, Texans.
Patriots, Dolphins.
You have the Patriots on that one.
Me too. Cardinals, Jets.
Cardinals. The Jets have just been terrible.
Yeah, me too. Niners, Rams.
I got the 49ers.
I agree. Bucks, Broncos.
Broncos, they have the only thing that any other team doesn't have, and that's Peyton Manning.
Yeah. So, Steelers, Ravens.
I have the Ravens winning that one.
I do too. Browns, Raiders.
I have the Raiders.
I have the Browns. The Raiders just look really horrible this year, and I think the Browns are gonna take it from them. So
They do, I think, but I think with Darren McFadden projected to come back this week, they're going to really step it up. Now they can use the 1-2 punch of McFadden and Marcel Reese, and they have Darius Hayward-Bay, Carson Palmer. They can do something on offense. Their defense is just going to have to step it up if they want to win.
yeah. How about the Bengals, Chargers?
I have the Bengals winning this.
I do too. Andy Dalton has been amazing lately. To AJ Green, even Mohamed Sanu, everybody's getting attention.
Their secondary,
Just
they have
really good.
their secondary just baits quarterbacks to throw it to them.
How about the Eagles and Cowboys?
We all know you're not picking against the Eagles, but I'm picking against them. I have the Cowboys winning this one.
I have the Eagles winning. I think that it's just been too long in a row. Eagles losing. Look for them to actually show up to when they play, and hopefully they can get something going with Nick Foles, Bryce Brown, a little bit of rookie magic. But I don't know.
The Cowboys are just a better team this year. You can
Injury,
look at.
snake bitten, so.
All right, now to our player of the week. I'll let you take this one.
Bryce Brown. He hadn't started since high school. He was on Kansas's football team, and he asked the coach if he could come out for pro day. He did. He got drafted by the Eagles, and he goes ahead and starts and gets 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, something like that. He really went off, and it's good for Bryce Brown. Congratulations.
26 points. That's a way to step up.